Scano, good afternoon. It's great to see you guys. We're on Grandmother's Voice platform, and we have some guests today. I know in our the poster that we shared, it said, introducing and meeting Kevin Sandy, but I think a lot of people know you, Kevin, right? And so this is just a great opportunity for us to hear everything that you've done through COVID, the programs that you've, continued to grow, and the connections that you've made. So thank you so much. I'm going to let you guys take care of your talk today and enjoy your visit. They can't hear you, you don't think? Neither one of you can hear anything, or can? Okay, so let's figure this out. Are you? Hey, Gary, you're watching. Can you hear us at all?
I can hear you.
Or can you hear me? Can you guys? You guys can hear me, but you can't.
I can't hear Kevin.
Okay. I can hear you. They can hear me. Jody, can you guys talk at all? Maybe you guys can talk. Say hi, Kevin. No? Okay. I can hear Gary.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
So I think if you guys start talking, Kevin, because I know I can't hear you guys, I'm gonna log off and see if I can hear you on Facebook. So you guys just can't hear each other.
You can hear me?
Okay, so Kevin, they don't hear you. So is something connected to your sound in your computer? Yeah, headphones or anything like that? No? Because I know you've been on here before. You might have to go into your settings. Kevin, they don't see or hear you. Yeah? We got a thumbs up on that one. Gary, I don't know. They say that they can hear you, Gary. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Let me just kind of step out and see what I can figure out on the back end.
Okay, sounds good.
Gary, do you think you can handle this conversation for a little bit till I figure out with Kevin, what's going on?
I'll start. This is live television. I can tell we're a little frazzled, but we'll go with it. So, Kev, we're talking about lacrosse here, right? My name is Gary Parker, Scano Suaguego. I hail from the Tonawanda Seneca territory, located across the creek here. I don't like to say American side there because we don't acknowledge that border there. So that's where I come from. And Kevin Sandy here, he's from Oswego up in Six Nations. And we're here to share a little talk on the lacrosse and what we do in terms of lacrosse. I'm actually wearing my lacrosse shirt here. So, yeah, it's good to be here and share some stories and share some talk about lacrosse. I'm starting to get like feedback. And we're live. This is live television. Kev, are you able to talk yet? I can hear nothing. I wish I knew what the okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about lacrosse at the Canada Games, Indigenous Heritage Night. We're looking at trying to, being a part of the Canada Summer Games, we were able to reintroduce lacrosse into the games. It's going to be happening this year in Niagara and St. Catharines. And the nice thing about having lacrosse there is we have a group that's called the IPC. And what our IPC does is we're able to be in partnership with the games and being a partner is allowing us to provide some programming, and lacrosse is going to be one of those programs that we're going to highlight in the games here, trying to get a little bit more attention around Indigenous, the community here of Niagara. So we're doing a real good job with introducing that. But lacrosse is going to be one of the highlight things that we are really hoping to showcase on a more grander scale. We're very excited to be a part of the games and be allowed to kind of work with the games and reintroduce some of those historical teachings around the game. We know that lacrosse is one of the fastest growing sports globally, and I think that's what we're kind of talking about here today. I'm kind of a little scatterbrained because I was hoping Kevin was going to take the lead here. But Kevin, why don't you try and see if you can maybe log out and re-log back in? Is that something we can do, and we'll try that. And I think I don't even know if they can hear me or not. I feel like I'm just talking here. Do we have a YouTube or a Facebook link that we can look up and maybe see if this is working or not? Okay, I'll stay here and tell some jokes. I don't know, Kevin. Let me try to chat here. Can you log out? Okay, I think Kevin is just going to take a break here and try and log back in. Jody's here again.
Hey, Gary, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. I just sent Kevin an email too, and or text, and just told him to jump off and jump back in, and maybe that's that'll work. Sometimes it's glitchy, so it's great to meet you, Gary.
Yeah, nice to meet you too as well.
Yeah, thanks. So I think Kevin and I have been talking back and forth quite a bit, and the work that he's doing even in Halton, but like nationally, pretty much is really what we were talking about today. We wanted to just kind of come on and share everything that's happening with his program, and everything that's happening, the development, right? Like you guys have really, and I don't even know. Why don't you tell me your relationship with Kevin and the Iroquois lacrosse program until we get Kevin back on?
Sure. I've been involved with Kevin for many, many years. We grew up playing lacrosse together. And so we have a very heavy sports background, I guess. And, both of us share the same kind of philosophies and stories and ambitions around trying to help grow this game. We're trying to get it really aligned with a lot of the different sports associations to develop lacrosse into that, understanding of the creator's game and how it really evolved and the historical side of it, but also where it can go to, and that's a lot of work that we do right now. Myself, I work with our local high school team here. I'm working with the whole region of Niagara, and I'm trying to platform our lacrosse association, our league for the high schools on a different level. So one of the things that we're trying to do is to kind of grow that game and evolve it. Whereas when we're developing lacrosse, we're not just developing the players, trying to teach them the skills, trying to give them that historical side, but we're also trying to grow the league as well to get more interest in it. And it also gives us the opportunity to really share that historical side of lacrosse and the Indigenous ways of knowing, growing up and playing the traditional game ourselves and starting from the old wooden sticks and different things like that. We're trying to platform it so we can grow that game and let it evolve into a little bit bigger thing. On the American side, the lacrosse high school programs are really strong. They're very big. They have the opportunity for different schools to recruit the students who are playing lacrosse, and we want to kind of build that platform similar on the Canadian side here as well. So again, it evolves the game and it evolves the players and gives them something to look after, so we can platform our good lacrosse players and help, give them a goal, a potential of going to college, university. I know here in our local area in Fort Erie, where I'm coaching now, uh, a lot of our students here are Indigenous students. That's one of the things that helps them stay in school is they have that thing that's a connection. And in school, it's got to be something that we can reflect and see ourselves in. Lacrosse is one of those opportunities where we're able to capitalize on that. And the kids and the students there, they're bringing their grades up. They know they got to keep their grades up in order to play the sport there. And they try all year long to recruit others and their friends. And this year, we're just in our tryouts for this year, and we're already up to over 30 kids signed up for lacrosse. So when my son started lacrosse a few years ago, just before COVID, we had about 14 guys that played lacrosse. So we've already doubled that in this time. So we know that lacrosse has that potential. We know that it's got the opportunity to really help build the kids' capacity in learning and doing that good work. So that's what we want to continue to build off of.
Yeah, amazing. And I know even in Halton, that's where I live, and the awareness that, that's even in this area with the Rock, their, training facility is right here. I know growing up, my boy, he's 21 now and is playing junior B hockey, but like all of his buddies that he played hockey with were all lacrosse players as well. And, just so proud that, my community, where I'm from is, where all of this knowledge is coming from right now. And so, or just mentioning the Indigenous voice right now, right? And just even that the truth and the story and the understanding of where that game came from is so important. And I think, again, just kind of going back to and mentioning that Kevin was having some trouble with technology. Me too, actually. My computer, I'm on my phone today because my computer was hacked over the weekend. So, but, just really kind of bringing this awareness and understanding of, where this game came from. And I think that sometimes that's what's missing in a lot of our sports in general, right? When they come in and they learn about the sport but they don't learn about the origin of it. And so that's what Kevin, we are talking about today is maybe some of the upcoming events that you guys are now involved in, hosting and working closely with the Rock and how many of our Indigenous, young men are a part of these professional organizations now. And so I don't know, maybe you can take it from there, Gary, while I continue to try to help Kevin get back in the room. And just letting you know too, people can hear you. I'm getting comments through Facebook. And so we didn't have a chance to explain what this platform is that we work on, but it goes live. So we're right now live on Facebook and on StreamYard YouTube. So, we have people watching on all of those platforms. So, I mean, hey, if you can just tell us some more about what you guys are doing and the things that are coming up. Kevin also offered us some tickets this weekend for the game. So, just tell us what you know. Tell us what
Perfect.
you know.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's one thing that we do. We have a partnership. We're working very closely with the Toronto Rock, which is very exciting for us. I've had the opportunity to go in and work with the Rock and share some of those traditional teachings to the management staff, and hopefully kind of let that umbrella kind of rain down on the players, on the community, the whole Toronto Rock community, And what we've been able to do with the Toronto Rock is the opening game that we had in Hamilton. They're playing out of Hamilton now, which is very close to Six Nations. So we're into our really closely networked Indigenous communities there, So we were able to set up an information booth right up the main corridor. So when you come up, you have to go right by the information booth that talks about, again, the history of the game, the work that we do, how we're trying to build it, not just the players, but we're trying to build a community, a lacrosse community. So again, that understanding is there that, it doesn't just include the players, it includes the parents, grandparents, again, the whole broader community, And that's a lot of the work that we do right now is working with the Toronto Rock. We have the Indigenous night that's going to be coming up when they play the Halifax Thunderbirds, and again that night is going to be showcased, and we'll be, helping the community, and we're going to draw on a lot of the Six Nations community there too as well. So we're very excited to be working with the Toronto Rock, but that's not as far as we go. We go quite further. So I know that Kevin is doing some work right now with the Halifax Thunderbirds, and he'll be out east and doing some programming during their Indigenous night too as well. We also have Kevin. He'll be showcased on our program. We have a Youth and Elders Conference that will be live. We're utilizing StreamYard too as well. And that will be broadcast on our Fort Erie Native Friendship Center page. That's where I'm currently working out of. So everybody's welcome to tune in there. And we're going to have Kevin Sandy on tomorrow morning, and he'll be a part of that conference. So if anybody wants any information, tune into our Facebook page there, and it's our posters out there, our agendas out there. It's open to anybody. So I encourage anybody who wants to log in. You don't have to pre-register. We want to just invite people out and share that information,
Amazing. I actually shared that on our, sorry to interrupt. I actually shared that on our Facebook page yesterday, and in our media as well, to just tell people, log on just like you do with Grandmother's Voice, and it'll show up, and oh my gosh, you guys have an amazing lineup of speakers, right? Tom Porter's going to be like I was just like, whoa, look at this great conversation, right? I met Tom on a journey a few years ago, and I went to his place, and he's really cool. I just love the way he teaches and invites people in. And, one thing that Kevin and I have in common in kind of the conversations that, that we share about what you guys do and what the game offers is not just for even the parents and the coaches. It's for like corporate world. It's like team building and understanding how you can really build a strong foundation with some, traditional understandings, ancient understandings of how to be, in, I want to say competition, but, not, I don't know what that language is about, but I think that that's cool. And we also shared the information that Kevin told us about in Halifax. Like that was the picture that I used for this program, just to kind of share all of these wonderful things that you guys are doing across, our nation. And I think that is so great that we're getting out there and really sharing understandings that build a strong foundation for community, for youth, right, for families. So
that is a big piece of it, and I'll tell you what's really exciting for us is to be able to work with different corporate groups, but it's also good to just work with community, especially the youth. When we share these stories about the creation of the game, the creator's game, and how we incorporate it, how we play it, how we still continue to play it. It's really just amazing to see how the youth, they just light up and they see a different, they see it from a different view. And that's what's really nice about it, again, because it just, lacrosse can be a competitive sport, but it's also lacking that teaching side of it. And that's the fun part that we're able to do, is share that teaching side, share the culture side. I don't always like to use the word culture, because culture is many things. It can be hockey, can be lacrosse, but to share that more traditional side that we look at, where it's about community, it's about family, it's about, raising our children up in a good way and giving them a lot of those foundational teachings and stuff. It's very important for kids to carry some of those teachings in their everyday life and right into school, so we're excited to be doing the work that we do, I'm not sure how Kevin's doing here yet or not. I know that he's frantically trying to log back in. I'm just trying to see my messages here to see if he's contacted us. I think you're muted now. Can you hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Okay, I can't hear either one of you now.
Say something, Kevin. No? No, can't hear. Okay, Gary, are you there? Gary,
I
can
can
you
see
hear
you
me?
guys. I can't hear you
Okay.
guys.
Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to call Kevin back, and then you can have a conversation with him while I get off the screen, okay? I've done it before.
Okay.
Take it away. Gary, talk about something. Kevin, I know you can hear us because you're smirking. So let me call you back. We're just going to work through this little bit of troubleshooting here. So share something exciting, Gary. Tell us something fun while I call Kevin.
I'm not sure if they're trying to tell jokes about me or not. I can see them both laughing. I
You
can't
can't
hear
hear
either one of them.
You can't hear me either? No, okay.
Live television. This is very fun.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me? No? Okay. Somebody can hear me. I'm getting this anyway.
I'm just wondering if maybe I should log out and log back in. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Or Jody can hear me. Can you hear me,
Yeah.
Kevin?
Yeah, we just can't hear Kevin. Can someone give me a thumbs up that you can hear me right now? Because Gary can't. Oh, Kevin can hear me. This is crazy. I don't know. I'm gonna take this as this is for some reason this is supposed to happen like this. So let me give you a call, Kevin, and see if we can log back in. And Gary, I don't know, just keep winging it, buddy. Unless you guys want to jump back in. Let's see here.
Kevin, if you can hear me, message me, text me.
Gary, can you hear me? I'm going to log out, people. Can you hear me, Kevin?
Hello?
I'm hearing you for some reason, Kevin.
I can hear you on the phone.
Put him on speakerphone.
Hello?
Yeah, turn it up.
Are you on here?
Yeah,
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
Kevin, you must have something open. You have it on twice now. I'm going to remove myself from the screen.
I'm gonna leave my headphones off. Hang on.
But people can still hear you?
I think so. I don't know. I wish I knew what the Facebook was so I could kind of check it out, you know.
Yeah. I was just on there, but yeah, people said they can't hear me. So
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect my headphones first. Hang on.
yeah.
I can hear everything, Gary. We can hear you and Kevin.
Oh, you can hear us both now?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, totally.
Okay, so he's on my phone, so
Yeah. Have a conversation.
all right, Kevin,
Let's just roll with it then. Let's just roll with it.
yeah.
Scano Swaguego, everybody. Thanks for your patience and diligence in this matter. Yeah, technology ceases to amaze me all the time. Maybe we should have did a Zoomer. A Zoomer always works for me best, but hey, we'll just roll with it. Nyama, Gary, and everyone, I said for taking your time and energy for today. We want to talk a little bit about lacrosse. I know Gary was filling you in on. I'm not sure where you kind of left off and where you started, because I guess on my agenda I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about, I guess, what's kind of gone on with the game the past couple of years. I know individuals haven't played. I know this community here in Grand River territory hasn't really even played too many games for, and I know the kids have suffered. I think not only mental health wise, but physically, emotionally, mentally as well. And that we're not only seeing that within the kids, but we're also seeing within the context of some of the professional players who will be playing this weekend actually in Hamilton with Georgia Swarm and the Toronto Rock. So I wanted to kind of have a little dialogue and discussion with you as well, Gary, because I know you're down in Fort Erie. You're coaching field lacrosse down there as well. You've been very instrumental in getting the game going down there in the Niagara region as well as your home community, and we're doing the same here in our region as well. So that's kind of where I kind of wanted to start things off. I know Six Nations are back now, like you say, in terms of lacrosse. Everyone's going for tryouts. Arena's about 5 minutes from me, and I know my nephew's actually got midget tryouts tonight, so I'll probably pop in on him a little bit. I said afterward, but again, I think it's this whole aspect of return to play right now. I think it's really important. I said that you give people their time, their energy, their space, because I think everyone's kind of dealt with COVID in a kind of a different way and in a different manner. And I think that's kind of where I want to start that dialogue off, is sort of like what it means, I think, for some of the kids to come back. I know an individual that stopped by here a little while ago. He's got 4 or 5 kids involved in lacrosse. We had a little quick dialogue and discussion about what it means for his kids, because they hadn't played for 2 years, and he just said they're excited. He says one kid's trying out for the junior B team, the Rebels. Other kids are in different divisions. He says, but they're all excited about it again, and hopefully, like I said, all the good energy continues to stay there, and the kids and the youth can play and continue to do the things that we love, because this game for us, as you know, is a medicine. Onondaga, it's a medicine for us. It's a part of our ceremonies. It's part of our beautiful way of life, and really that's kind of really what I wanted to share with everybody, and to get them really excited even about the opportunities that are available in this game for everybody, not just the guys, but the women and the girls who play this beautiful game as well, because they have a tremendous opportunity to, I think about the World Games that are coming up. I know the women will be traveling down to Baltimore this coming summer to compete in the World Games. The men and women will be down in Birmingham playing as part of the Haudenosaunee Nationals as well. Then we have our U21 team also competing in Ireland in August as well, and which kind of coincides with the return, like Gary mentioned earlier, of box lacrosse to the Canada Games after, we'll say, a 36-year hiatus. And I'll mention it's really without Indigenous teams too, and I think that's an area I think that Gary and I and others are working toward, to make sure that there's an opportunity for Indigenous teams to be involved in the Canada Games as we go forward. It's our game. It's our way of life, and there should be. You could say it's nothing. I guess I think the whole aspect of the game is important. It's integral. Trying to increase participation, but just making sure kids have an opportunity to play, and that's where I want to lead in the dialogue and then kind of go forward from that end. And as well, just to let people know too, in terms of awareness, that the Indigenous Summer Games will be played this coming summer in July 28th to the 31st in the city of Ottawa. Pikwakanagan territory, Algonquin territory is the host. And so if you need any information on that as well, like you said, we can be talking about that tonight as well, and today. And because again, I believe it's the Indigenous Sport and Wellness Council of Ontario are coordinating and planning and organizing that event, and that event hasn't happened in 6 years. I remember 6 years ago, we hosted it here down in Six Nations down in Grand River territory. It was a tremendous event, and hopefully that same excitement will move over to the event that's going to be happening in Ottawa this coming summer, again, July 28th to the 31st. And lacrosse is part of that. Lacrosse is actually part of the summer games. The way we ran it 6 years ago is we ran it as a kind of like we ran it as a skills development camp. I know Johnny Paulus was involved. We had some of the NL players involved in terms of providing some of the instruction at the time. And what we did is we had a draft. We end up, because we didn't want to put all of, say, Akwesasne and Six Nations players against some of the smaller communities and people who had registered. So we ran it as a modified event, and we actually created pools. We created a draft, and we created a team, and we modified the games, and it ended up being really awesome, because there was some kids from way up in northern Ontario. I think it was Caribou Lake First Nation. They're kind of way up on the border of northern Ontario, close to Manitoba, and some of those kids actually got to participate with some of the kids on, we'll say, Oneida's team, from the Oneida community, Akwesasne, MBQ community, and they ended up winning the gold medal, and it was awesome. And you should have seen the smiles that they had on their faces. It was just amazing just to see that. And a lot of the parents and volunteers and chaperones come up to us afterward, and we're really happy, I said, with how we did that, because again, we just kind of created an equal playing field, and then all the final games that we did, we had it over 3 days. All the final games were settled by 1 or 2 or 3 goal difference, and I think even one of the games in one of the divisions went into overtime, and it was awesome, because it was a modified game. It wasn't purely just a box or field. It was a modified sort of like a hybrid kind of game, hybrid style, and everybody had fun with it. And I think really that's kind of what we've learned, and I've learned growing up and playing the game, even with the kids. Like you say, you just go out and play the way that you want to play, and you set up your own rules, you set up your own boundaries, and you modify it. And that's how the game was played anyways, originally, out on the field. And that's how I see things kind of moving forward. So I just wanted to make sure that individuals understood that as well. And also, we'll be giving away tickets. Like you said, I have 15 tickets we'll be giving away. I can hand them over to Jody as well for on Friday when I see here. So if individuals are interested in going to watch the Georgia Swarm, who features Brendan Bomberry here from Six Nations. I know Lyle Thompson is married into this community. He's one of the they both are two of the top world players. They'll be competing against the Toronto Rock, and the teams are 13, 14 games into the season right now, and it's going to be a tremendous game, a tremendous battle, and again, you're going to see, I think, all the skill that these individuals possess, because that's what they love to do. That's their dream, and they're making things happen, and they're following their dreams, and then I know Lyle, like I say, he's won that they won Alado Award, which was the top U.S. collegiate player with his brother Miles. Like I say, probably going back 6, 7, 8 years ago now. I said, but that's the whole big thing about it. They're playing their trade, and Brendan Bomberry, like I say, he's played at the University of Denver and at SU, and that's the opportunity that I see, I think, for the kids and the young girls who are also have that opportunity to go play college ball. But also saying that too, I think the Arena Lacrosse League is having their women's, I believe, championship this coming weekend at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena here down on Six Nations as well. So that's a whole nother avenue to come and see the girls. And I remember in 2017 when they hosted the North American Indigenous Games down here, the girls' game, actually championship games, attracted more fans than the boys' games. Like there was probably 2,000 fans at that championship game between in the U19 division. I said between Eastern Door and Ontario, which Eastern Door won by one single goal. But it was just awesome to see that kind of excitement and generation, and that's kind of where I want to kind of flip the script back over to Gary, and then maybe to find out all the wonderful things. And he might have already said it, what he's doing down in Fort Erie and Niagara, but even maybe his community. I know his boys playing college ball in New York State as well. And Gary, I'm going to flip it to you for a little bit of insight about where this game's going and what do you see now and into the future. Gary?
Thanks, Kevin. I'm already done talking.
Awesome.
No, I appreciate that. I think again that one of the things that I was sharing is in growing the game is like getting the community involved, and it's not just about the players. And I was expanding on how we try and really, share with the community and stuff. And I'll speak a little bit about our Fort Erie community. Our minor lacrosse team has really grown over the past couple of years, and thanks to a lot of our community members that stepped up. We have a lot of very involved parents and things like that in our minor league program. I'll speak about our team with my son's level there, Avery, and it's a lacrosse family. I just got to honestly say we become a larger family, right down to all the players, their kids. The kids that played, I look at them like they're like my own kids too as well. And looking out for them and cheer them all on like they're like our own kids. And I'm very thankful for our minor lacrosse program and the parents that always pitched in. We had our Chrissy Brandt who headed up our team for a long time, right down to all the players' parents. We really got involved. We'd go to tournaments, and again, it was great to go to tournaments because that gave us time to really become a stronger family, a stronger bond. We'd cook out, we'd eat together. And that's how you're building the game. You're not just building a game itself with individuals, but it's with parents, with community. You got to keep in mind with Indigenous people too. When we go to some of these tournaments, there's some racism that goes on, in some of these communities, and it's good when we can stand together and be there together. And we had a lot of different non-Indigenous people that played with us too as well, but they stayed there with us. They were all part of a family, So that's kind of what the game does. Again, I expand on how it deals as a community, So I appreciate all that. We had some great players in our community, all these young guys that are growing up. They had all their eyes set on playing a big game, and we finally brought a championship down here to Fort Erie. They won the zone championships down here, and that was a very exciting time for them to bring that here because, years ago they brought the championship here, but it hasn't happened for a long time. So we see the game evolving, and that's one thing that I always like to give a little bit of credit to our own community here in Fort Erie. So our G-Fest team, our high school team, is growing. I was sharing earlier, Kevin, that when Avery brought that game back to high school, I think there was probably about 4 or 5 Indigenous students on there. We had Shooky, we had the Brandt boys, we had Dylan, the John boys, and Avery, a few of them there, and they got their friends involved, and more kids started to come out. But this year, we have over 30 kids that are on our team, starting out right now, So we've grown the game that much already, even during COVID times, So we had that little bit of a hiatus time, but we see everybody excited to get back on the field here, So we want to kind of give them as much experience and exposure as we can, But we're very happy to grow the game, and Kevin's, done great work with everybody he's involved with, the Toronto Rock. I know you talked a little bit about the Georgia Swarm coming there. I just seen an article on the Georgia Swarm and how the fan base has really wrapped their support around the Indigenous players that are down there, Brendan and the Thompson guys there, And I seen a little poster of one of the fans talking about their braid and how they support that. And again, lacrosse is doing many things for our people. It's showing that support. It's giving a little bit of understanding, but it's also breaking down some of that racism that is out there. We all know of the episode that happened in with the Thompson brothers the one time. But again, we're overcoming those things. There's more information that's being provided out there. There's more, here we have in Canada the TRC that's really helping us out and things like that. But I can't really say any more than you have already, Kev. So I'm going to flip it right back to you. I think there was a question that somebody posted. I seen it flash up on my screen, but I don't see the questions or comments. Kevin, how can people support the work that you are doing? That's one of the questions here.
Yeah, I guess from my lens is to get involved and really, to me, communication is number one. Is to find out if you're interested, like you say, in what we're doing. Like, we're actually on social media. Like you say, we have more. We have the Onondaga/Iroquois lacrosse program actually on social media, and you can shoot me sort of like a message, like you say, to get involved with what we're doing, because we've been around for a number of years, planning, organizing, doing cultural education in schools, with district school boards, in urban Indigenous communities. I know we've been invited down as a guest into the Fort Erie community for a number of years with some of the NLL guys and some of the girls as well, and providing, we'll say, some of that leadership at the community level. And to me, really, it's about transferring that knowledge, right? Like you say, we've had our time playing. Like I'm still involved in terms of doing development, still involved in doing camps, but we want to transfer that knowledge. I think that's part of what Gary and I mentioned earlier, and I'm glad Gary brought it up in terms of family, because that's a big responsibility. That's a responsibility that I have as a Haudenosaunee parent. I said to continue to share this game and continue to transfer the knowledge down to that younger generation. Well, the younger mush. They said who can take this game further and take it further and support it, I think, in a greater way. And we always need volunteers. Like, I know I was talking to minor lacrosse the other night down here in our community. Like, they've got really impacted lately because of the bingos. They relied a lot on bingo resources and trust fund resources, but since COVID has really impacted them, they're at a tough stage right now with minor lacrosse down here. Yeah, we have a robust 400, 500 kids who play as part of minor lacrosse, but I'm not sure where that's going to stand this year, because they need resourcing. And then I know in talking to the president earlier this week, he said, "Hey, can you donate some maybe gifts or prizes. We're going to donate some sticks, probably some woodies, and other type of hopefully soapstone carvings as well, because they want to be able to support. So if somebody asked that question, how can you support? Get involved, like you say, in trying to help with your local club or local association or this community or other communities, because they need the support. Like you say, no one's really knows right now what's going to happen. And I know there's a decline in team sports right now, and more individual-based sports are going on. And I think that's really getting involved at the community level. Education, public education, TRC 87 is all about public education and trying to help your either local friendship center or your local club or your local team, and continue to support this beautiful game of ours, because it is a medicine, and it will be played. It's still going to be played, like you say, in our Ganoses or our Longhouse, because again, we just heard the return of the Onondaga, the Thunders, and so it's going to be our men's responsibility to call for that game pretty soon, like you said, coming up probably in April. And in my Longhouse, I said so that we continue to make sure we're sharing and transferring that good energy, I said, down to the coming faces and the people who need that help right now. So that's what I say, get involved and find different ways to support, because not everyone, like I say, has the resources. Not everyone has the resources to because it costs. Like sticks sometimes, like handles will cost you, like can cost $200-300 for a titanium or composite handle. And then you look at helmets, you look at rib guards and pads and everything like that. Really, right now, like I say, it used to be can't say minimal. I says, but I come from a family of 4. We all played sport, and I guess this team and sacrifice. I said not the sacrifice, the time and energy, we'll say, that my parents put into us. They said to allow us to do what we wanted to do, and I was very grateful for that. And I think that's how I see getting involved and continuing just to share and continuing to transfer that knowledge down to the younger people, but continuing to ask for their voices too. It's important that we get the voices of the young people, because 75%, 80% of the people who play lacrosse are under the age of 17. And again, it's like you look at the life cycle, the young guys and girls, the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's at a peak, then it kind of gradually goes down, right? And so I'm trying to say to everybody, get involved and support in whatever way you can, based on your values, your means, and what you love to do as well. But I also want to ask Gary a question, because Gary, I know you had a fundraiser in your community last week. I wasn't able to attend. I think it was during the March break because I was busy with kids and family and stuff like that. But how did that go? And I also know you have a Fort Erie Youth and Elders Conference coming up, so you can maybe touch on that a little bit for everybody, Gary.
Sure, we always got fundraisers going on down here. So if you like Indian tacos, come down. We do a Indian taco fundraiser all the time. We try to support our youth programs, and again, most of our fundraising goes to youth and programming for our youth. You know, not just here at the Friendship Center, but even for our lacrosse. I know we do a lot of fundraising. So Kevin, you hit it right on the button by saying just step out, reach out, get in contact with us, and we can, give you some direction as to where to go. I did mention our Youth and Elders Conference earlier, Kevin. I told everybody here, our viewers, that we will have Mr. Kevin Sandy on tomorrow morning on StreamYard. So he's got to work on it tonight to iron it out so we don't go through this again tomorrow. Because we'll have quite a large audience with our Youth and Elders Conference. This is the one thing that I do want to say. I've never really been a big fan of technology. I think the best way to learn is hands-on and being right there face to face. That's always the best way to really learn. But during this COVID time and when we're really trying to protect ourselves, protect our communities, protect our families, we've had to kind of switch to this virtual mode. And I'm giving this little infomercial on our Youth and Elders Conference, but we've really been able to rock it the past couple of years with this platform of StreamYard and being able to broadcast it on our Facebook, because what it's allowed us to do is it's allowed us to hit quite a large audience. And in some of our viewing that we had last year, we had people tuning in from the state of Washington and Arizona and British Columbia, and it was just amazing because, again, sometimes the people who catch our link there is able to get some of our teachings from that far away, and sometimes it's the families of our own communities who have moved away for whatever reason, school or work or whatever it is. They're able to tune in and reconnect with us too as well. So I do want to say that technology has really helped us stay connected in this time of COVID and in the time of us, again, protecting our families and communities. So that's one way we have been able to capitalize on technology. So
Definitely. Can you hear me, Gary?
I can. Hey,
Yeah.
we're back. Wow.
Yeah, I was here. I was always here. I was popping some messages up and staying connected. It's one thing that technology has taught me too is patience. Patience. And
I felt like
you're right. What's
I
that?
felt like a fish out of water here earlier before I couldn't hear either one of you. I felt like I was hosting the program, and I don't know what program I was hosting.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? It's challenging if you haven't, sometimes, just trying to figure out what's happening. But just know when you see yourself on the screen, usually people can hear you. So you're right. We'll have to kind of tap into Kevin. Kevin, give me a buzz if you need a little bit of troubleshooting on your end. But yeah, Gary, we've been watching the work that you guys have been doing as well. We're going to share that with you. We'll probably tag if that's okay, we'll tag it so that we're streaming it too, because it's such important information. And I've been really blessed because the work that I did before that led me to my roots and this community, and all of the people that are so graciously sharing Indigenous knowledge that is, we know as Indigenous people, is healing for us, right? This whole reclamation, taking and not taking back, but just like stepping into that place that our elders had shared, and knowledge keepers have told us that it's our time. And so if we can step into mainstream and tap into all of these tools that have been offered to us and really learn how to honor them, and build relationships, then right, we can do it. And so I'm honored that I had this opportunity to hear you guys talk. I know that there's a lot of people that want to know more. So, you can reach out to Grandmother's Voice. We'll put you into contact with Gary and Kevin. There are so many people that want to help. They want to donate. They want to be a part of this change, and they want to be a part of, and bringing this awareness. So Gary, let's hook up, and I can put some information about what you guys are doing in your community on our website so that we can make sure that we direct people to support you. And you too, Kevin. You're amazing, brother. Sorry about the technology barrier, but I'm in it too. I think that there's some clearing we have to do because we're getting ready to be really busy.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah. No, I totally agree. And yeah, I just want to say, Nyawa, I said for your time, your energy, and I guess as I mentioned before, get involved. I guess to be the best that you can be. I said for your kids or your grandkids or whoever's listening out there as well, and continue just to absorb that knowledge and transfer it and share it and continue to inspire and empower. And I think that really that's what the game has taught me and then done for me over not only this game, but so many other games that my parents allowed us to participate in. And again, there's so many awesome things coming up that Gary's doing, that Jody's doing, that others are doing out there in the community. Continue to keep that in mind as you go forward. And like April 16th, when the Halifax Thunderbirds come into town to play the Toronto Rock, that's Ongwehongwe Heritage tonight. Like I say, I see that as a trend. Hopefully we can put 12,000 people in that arena, if not more. Like I say, from all over Southern Ontario and all over New York State, because there's a whole big program that's set up as part of that as well, that we're involved as well with. Like there's going to be like things happening at the on the concourse level prior to the game, opening ceremony, wooden stick game being played at halftime as well. And so it's all part of that. To me, that run and show, that's really important, but that's also part that Gary and Gary and Jody talked about, and that continued sharing and caring that we do it. And as well, like you say, tomorrow's well, Gary, maybe you and I later can troubleshoot kind of with the StreamYard, because I know you're using that platform. But tomorrow I see that as again, that transfer of knowledge, it's the young person show. Marshall, I'll be asking Marshall Paulos, who plays with the Saskatchewan Rush. He scored his first goal on the weekend, so we're going to be creating that dialogue and discussion with him at 9:30 tomorrow morning. We'll troubleshoot the StreamYard, get it up and running. Marshall's excited about it. I know if you haven't seen him play, he's the younger brother of Johnny Paulos. Everyone knows who Johnny is, but Marshall's making a name for himself as well right now in terms of the go forward. And I think that's really what it's all about. The young mush who are playing the game. I said it's in them. It's in their blood. It's in our spirit. And even tonight, tonight we're doing a session on Ontario Lacrosse University on the roots of the game. It's at 7:00. All you gotta do is Google OntarioLacrosseUniversity.com. It's a platform to change and transform the way people see the game. It's all about information, training, and support, just like the wonderful work that Jody and Sherry and others are doing with Grandmother Voices. Nyama, for your time and energy. And again, we'll get the tickets out to individuals who want to go, because there's going to be minor lacrosse night happening again, not this week, but next weekend. There's so many things, wonderful things going on, but continue to stay involved. And now, Nyama, for your time, everybody.
Go out for you. Thanks,
yeah, thank
Gary.
you too as well. Unfortunately, I do have to log on. They're pulling me over there to say hurry up and get ready for tomorrow. So I got a couple of things I got to get ready for.
Awesome. Okay, have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you. We'll be watching, Gary. Good luck with everything.
Awesome. Keep doing the good work, Jody.
Thank you, Noah.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola.